The Microsoft deal is just over a week old and we are already getting some good news. Is Blizzard and Overwatch saved? Let's have a look. Hey guys, I'm Dimsies from the Omnic Post. I want to warn you guys, this video is a little lengthy. Well, for my doing at least. It also might get a little bit personal. I might throw in the occasional rant. But that's exactly what I've been thinking about doing with these Sunday videos. Videos that go a little more in depth into certain topics Overwatch related. And I do need a new name for these videos. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. If I end up picking your idea, I might throw in a few stickers. Anyways, this week I come bearing good news. Blizzard might be saved. Now give me a few minutes to explain why I generally believe that. Over the last 2 years I have been following the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard acquisition from close by. And in case you missed it, that deal was finally closed last Friday. Now there are a few reasons why I have been following this so closely. And the most important one being that I've been playing Blizzard games ever since Rock and Roll Racing and Lost Vikings. Those are some old school games. On top of that, this company was one of the reasons that I ended up joining the industry myself. In other words, they inspired me. They were a bunch of nerdy metalheads that wanted to make awesome games. That kind of describes me. And making awesome games, they did. In many games, Blizzard was the Apple of the gaming industry. They were masters in taking a genre, a product, and lifting it to the next level. But somewhere in the last 7 years, dark clouds started to gather over Irvine, California, where they have their campus. At that point, they had been part of the Activision Blizzard holding for a few years already. But until then, the management at Blizzard had been able to draw away the attention of Activision Blizzard and Bobby Kotick in particular away from the teams. They protected them against all the corporate bullshit. Pardon my French. But when Activision lost Bungie, the developer of Destiny, the dam broke. The dark eye of Bobby Kotick started to shift its gaze. And a corporate tidal wave washed out all of the rock and roll to replace it with a monotone corporate drone sound. Over the years, the inspiring company that myself and a lot of other people had looked up to was reduced to a husk of its former self. A husk that was fueled by greed. Now, from my standpoint, as a former gaming professional, I do understand that even gaming companies need to make money. It's just a fact. But I also strongly believe that there needs to be balance. A company driven by profit, by a board of shareholders that does not understand what it takes to make a good game, is a soulless machine that is cannibalizing its own talent and its own potential, which includes profit. Now, till a few months ago, these were the words of a Reinhardt wannabe that made silly videos. But today, there is a clear example. Proof that my statements make sense. And even better, that proof is being made in my hometown, Baldur's Gate 3. Larian is a company that has their priorities in order. First, make an awesome game. 2, make a shit ton of money while doing it. With Baldur's Gate, they delivered on a game that will be talked about for generations to come. And I'm pretty certain that they're making some good money while doing it. Simply because they put the product before the profit. You know what? I wouldn't be too surprised that they already got an email or a call from Microsoft themselves. Maybe. And trust me, it was not to ask if they want to update to Windows 11. The thing is, Blizzard used to be a company like that, where the products, the community, and their own staff were the priority. They have it on their own campus, on the floor, around that huge orc. The memories. But you know what? I think that old school Blizzard spirit, it might be coming back. To a certain extent. First, allow me to take a second to thank my patrons for their support. You guys are legends. And you too can join the Omnic Post family over on patreon.com/theomnicpost. Get early access to my content, Patreon exclusive streams, and even some physical goodies like stickers and pins. Go check it out. I promise it's worth it. Anyways, let's continue. Let me make this clear. The old rock and roll Blizzard, that's gone. Even with Chris Madsen being back in the Warcraft leadership, there just is no way back to the old Blizzard. And you know what? That's fine. The old Blizzard also had its issues, clearly. But if the current Blizzard manages to get their priorities straight and to let the creative people lead the charge, Blizzard might evolve in something new. A company that embraces that old rock and roll spirit, but puts it in a new framework that is safer, more organized, where the creatives get the support to make the games that we as a community have been waiting for. Now, let's go back to that Microsoft deal. Microsoft is not without its flaws. Xbox is not without its flaws. And they know that. They admit that. Days after the deal with Activision Blizzard was closed, Phil Spencer, the CEO of gaming at Microsoft, appeared on the official Xbox podcast. And he admitted that they have made mistakes in the last 10 years. But that they have learned a lot from those mistakes. And that by itself for me is a big sign. A CEO admitting to the mistakes that they have made, seeing it as a learning, but also allowing the teams to do the same thing, that is kind of big. But that seems to be exactly what he is doing. He is extremely excited to get Activision Blizzard and King on board because he believes that they can all learn from each other. And the first step, mere days after the acquisition, that Phil Spencer took was not starting to restructure, stepping in, taking control, but to start with listening. What do these teams want to do? What are they passionate about? Where do they see their own future going? These are all things I love to hear from someone in power. They're way better than, can I get the spreadsheet of the earnings for the last quarter? Which he most likely also did, But overall, everything that Phil Spencer was saying, the new boss of Activision Blizzard, was that the focus needs to be on the teams, on company culture and on the community. Us, the players. That anything is possible, and yes, that he is open to bringing back old IPs like StarCraft or Guitar Hero, if and when those teams are up for it. Because again, while he has his own opinion on all of this, and especially since he is an avid gamer, someone that plays a ton of games, he knows that he needs to stay in his lane, that his opinions are not always the correct ones, and that it needs to come from the bottom up. Even more interesting is that he added that bringing back these old IPs should not be a PR move or just merely for financial gain, but that it should be about bringing back these valuable IPs with the respect for the communities and the actual games. Trust me, you just need to watch that whole podcast for yourself. I'll leave a link below. But after hearing all of that, I was overcome with this sense of relief. Finally. Now, let me be the devil's advocate for a second and point out that Phil Spencer is very good at PR and that talk is cheap. That all of this could be too good to be true. On the other hand, he has shown more than once that he is who he says he is. To the point where this management style has bitten him in the rear end at least a few times. Redfall, for instance. Their handoff approach has been cited as one of the main issues for that failing game. And sadly, that is the truth. That is what it looks like when passion takes over. It can result in gems, but not keeping that passion in check can also result in jewelry from the $1 store. And personally, I think the chances of getting a gem out of a team that is driven by passion are considerably higher if the corporate goons stay in their lane. And this is the most important one, you select the correct leadership for all of your teams. Leadership that shares that passion, but that does know how to avoid the potholes. And you know what? Blizzard has that leadership. The Overwatch team has that leadership. Aaron Keller and Jared Nurse. Aaron Keller is the passionate one, and Jared Nurse is the navigator through all the potholes. The thing is, under ABK, they were distracted, they were muzzled, they were basically held back. And that by itself was the reason why all the predecessors left, like Jeff Kaplan for instance. They were just done dealing with Bobby, who most likely was way more disruptive than we'll ever know. But you know what? Who cares? Let's look forward, and judging by the turn of that latest director's take, the team itself is ready to start with a new future for Overwatch. All that talk, Aaron's talk about a new battle pass, a new shop, on how they recognize that putting Mora in that ultimate battle pass bundle was not okay. It tells me that things are changing. Like I said, Blizzard and Overwatch might be saved. But do me a favor, give it a little time. Like Phil Spencer said himself, this is just the start of something big. And I personally cannot wait to see the rest of it. I'm actually starting to like Phil. Maybe I should get an Xbox. Wait, the PR is working! You bastards! But what do you think? Is this the start of a new era? Or is this just a different company? Same problems. Let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe for more updates on Overwatch and join me during my streams right here on YouTube or over on twitch.tv/DamesesTV. Till then, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye bye.